Hey everybody, Merry Christmas. If you're watching this the day it's posted, it is Christmas Day. If you're not, don't tune away. This is perfectly applicable for any other time of the year. It's a wonderful, wonderful breakfast we're going to do right out here on the Blackstone griddle. So I'm all prepped. We have family in town for the holidays. I've got on my holiday pajamas with my Griswold's family vacation strung out for the holiday shirt. And we're going to go ahead and do buttermilk pancakes, homemade and bacon, out on the Blackstone. We can prepare it a little bit ahead of time and eat it after everybody's up and kind of sitting around the table. So let me kind of show you how we do this. Really, really simple. We're going to start with a package of bacon. I don't prefer the thick cut bacon. I use the regular cut bacon, but you can do whatever one you happen to prefer. And then we made some homemade pancakes, and I'll show you just what the recipe was on those as well. So you'll notice I have my griddle right here at about the 6:30 or 7 o'clock position if you're looking at these like a clock dial. I've got each of them on. It's nice and warm. I'm not even going to bother putting any kind of oil down because we're doing bacon and it's very fatty. I'm just using a standard packaged bacon. This one happens to be applewood smoked, and it's as simple as lining these up on the griddle. Now I like to do these at a little bit of a lower temperature just so that they don't curl up real bad. Let me kind of show you how we put them. Just take these, string each one right down on the griddle. Now we're just going to go ahead and keep lining the griddle with these so we can cook them all at one time. Nice and simple. Have a nice sip of my morning coffee, and I'll go ahead and get these flipped after about 2 minutes. And again, I flip them a couple of times because it helps keep them from curling up, and I also alternate the location where they are on the actual griddle, because some spots run a little hotter than others. Now if you've seen on this channel before, we have done bacon before, and we've done it in the smoker, we've done it on the grill, we've done it in the oven. But I want sort of a one location meal, and it's really easy to do all this right on the Blackstone. And quite frankly, my patio is angled just a little bit, so the grease will run to one side. It lets me just scrape a little bit over and use that as I'm doing my pancakes in a few minutes. So while these go, let me talk a little bit about the buttermilk pancakes. Now, these are really, really good and simple to do. You don't have to buy packaged mix. It's really easy. 2 cups of flour, about a teaspoon or so, a heavy pinch of salt. I actually like to use smoked kosher salt, but use what you want. You want a teaspoon and a half of baking soda, a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. You want about 3 or 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then it's really as simple as putting all that in a bowl, mixing it up a little bit, and then you're going to get your dry ingredients ready. About 2 1/8 or 2 1/4 cups of buttermilk. I like to have it room temperature. If it's not, it's okay. 2 eggs, and if you want to add a little bit of vanilla for some flavor, go right ahead. So I usually have my dry mix. I make a little well in the middle of it. I dump in my buttermilk, almost all of it, about 2 cups or so. Crack my eggs in it, and I begin to whisk it up. I don't whisk it a lot. A few lumps are really good. You just want it well incorporated. If I need it a little bit more runny, I'll add the rest of that buttermilk. And then the best thing to do is let it set. You'll notice I made the batter before I started the bacon. Buttermilk pancake batter is probably best if it sits for 15 to 30 minutes before you go ahead and actually cook them. So we have perfect timing for that. Let's get this bacon flipped one more time. And now's when I begin alternating them into different locations depending on the hot spots on the grill. All right, so as you can see, this one's ready to get flipped over. It just looks so good. Now I always keep this burner off unless I'm really filling the entire griddle. So it gives me a spot to keep items warm. Right now, I want these to cook a little bit more, so I'm still leaving them over the heat. But I have this opportunity now to slide things right over to this side to stay nice and warm while I finish cooking. I also will hold my pancakes over here as well. On the very far right, it's still warm, but it's not so hot that it's going to continue to burn or darken the bottom of the pancakes. Move this to a spot that's not quite as hot, and I'm going to begin to put these now right on my tray. You'll notice I put these off to the side here. 1, it helps keep them warm. 2, it also allows them to have some of that oil drain off of it as opposed to where it's pooling up over there. Now I lay the bacon out in a single layer just so that they don't stick to one another. And then as it cools just a little bit, then we can stack them up without an issue. Now, I mentioned before, I'm going to leverage some of this bacon grease as my oil for the griddle. Now I'm checking to see where it's pooled up a little bit, and it's pooling up in this corner given the way the angle of the patio is. So I'm going to just spread a little bit of this over, and I'm not going to cook in that spot where it's pooling up. What I don't want to do is have deep fried pancakes. Alright, that's sitting there. Turn this down as low as it'll go at this point. Remember, it's going to be good and hot with that bacon grease on there, and I'm just going to pour a few of these little guys on here. I'm not going to do very large. Probably 3 inches or so in diameter. Your best bet if you're using the Blackstone is to have a nice thin spatula. This thick one is great for doing stir fries and burgers and whatnot. And it's nice for pushing my oil around on the griddle. But I'm going to use this nice thin one for flipping these guys. I think everybody knows this. How you know when a pancake is ready to flip, it begins to get bubbles on the top, and you can start to see it brown just a little bit on the edges. These don't take long at all, and if you slide this under here, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit brown, it's almost ready to flip. And let these go a few more moments. I'm just come in here, right underneath, and a quick flip. Right underneath, and a quick flip. Again, as I mentioned, when I'm pouring these down, I use just a little bit of this bacon grease we had, and I spread it out to help keep them from sticking. Now this is a well-seasoned Blackstone, so it probably wouldn't be an issue at all, but I like that, that extra flavor it gives it. Alright, once you got your test one done, which I just did with those first two, then it's time to start putting your pancakes down. Again, I don't want to go into the spot where that bacon grease is thick there. I don't want to deep fry these. This is what I love about the Blackstone, because it's got such a big cooking surface. And we've got my son and daughter and their baby in town. My daughter's here. Both the grandkids are here, all 3 grandkids. Wow, not used to saying all 3 grandkids are here. That's cool. You can sort of see how these bubbles are forming. That's how you know it's almost done. I just let that go, and then as soon as I see it starting to crisp up on the edge, just enough for me to give it a lift and check the color, then I go ahead and flip it. I want this to go just a couple more moments. I want to see a few more of those bubbles pop. Alright, that looks like it's ready to flip. And when you flip these, you want to go really quick. You got to get in there fast. And when you flip them, if you can do it a little bit gentle, you'll notice I got a little bit of a splash around the side of it. So on the sides of them, they get this little, oh, it kind of reminds me of like the egg whites when you cook an over easy egg. They spread out just a little bit on the sides. Not an issue at all. I'm going to let these go a little bit longer. I like them to be just a tad darker. And there you go. You can tell that center is definitely hotter. Yeah, got my little mini one again. Again, that's a bonus. These really are good. There probably won't be a taste test today because I have a group of hungry people inside. As soon as these are done, I'm carrying them in. You'll notice I'm putting these right in my hand to check the bottom of them. That's okay to do, just be careful. I always bring out my coffee so I can have coffee while I go. Ah, that gave it away. No, I'm not filming on Christmas morning. It's a few days before, but not on Christmas morning. I don't think Starbucks will be open, and I do like my Starbucks fix in the morning. Busted, dang it. My bacon piled up right here. And these are looking really good. I mean, seriously, folks, how great is this? This is a wonderful Christmas morning meal, done in about 10 or 15 minutes tops. You prep it inside, you come outside 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're done, bring it in, the family's all happy. The best part is, you get to ask somebody else to set the table while you're out here doing the fun part. Bye, everybody. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas if you're watching this on Christmas Day. If you're not, I hope you enjoyed your wonderful breakfast because it's good any time of the year. Safe and happy grilling, and I'll see you next week when I'm not going to be wearing my Christmas pajamas. Bye, y'all.